Okay, this is good. Mm. Yes, sir. Look at that in there. Yes, sir. Rice cakes. Who knew? Yes, when I say rice cakes, I mean these are crab cakes that I use rice cakes for. So stay tuned to see how I made these crab cakes that are low in fat and carbs. So, we're starting with some of the ingredients. Yes, this is also trial and error because I wanted to figure out how to make crab cakes actually less fattening and without all this extra stuff that you put in there. So that was my crab. You can use lump crab, whatever you want to use. Tapioca flour because you can't taste it. That's adobo flour or seasoning, I should say. And then we're showing the different seasonings. You saw mustard earlier, your cayenne, thyme, and then your parsley. So what we're gonna do, I'm just showing you like I'm really want to use eggs in this, but we're gonna use egg whites. So egg whites has protein in there, but egg whites also is low in fat naturally. So as we're looking at all the ingredients here, I realize I'm missing some ingredients, but I'll add them later because, this is all trial and error. I'm just trying to figure this out here. So I'm going to use some flour. Tapioca flour does not have much of a taste or flavor, so you can mask and use other things and you won't even notice it. So I'm about to do close to 2 tablespoons of this. You can scale it to making how many rice cakes depending on the amount of crab you had. I think I had 130 to 140 grams of crab, so it's really not that much crab. So maybe I didn't need that much tapioca flour, but I wanted to make sure I had enough. So that's just showing the adobo seasoning I have in there. I'm gonna sprinkle some thyme, and then put as much as you want in there. Like flavor seasoning, you need to go all in. Go for that, okay? Go for it. Cayenne, obviously, it's gonna have some type of kick. It's a little spice. It's very light. You put them out to the amount of your liking, and then same thing with parsley. You're not gonna throw off the taste, but by not measuring your parsley. And there's basically no macros for parsley, especially in this dry state. So those are what things I'm gonna add. Now I'm gonna just mix that together. Use whatever you have. Yes, I'm using a plastic fork for this. Yeah, don't ask. But we're gonna move on to our next step because we all know how to mix things. So I was trying to show you in this camera angle, like get egg whites, but I feel like people know how to do it. But me trying to do this for the camera, it looked like a hot mess. So put the egg white in my mixture, my dry mixture, and then put the yolk in, right? In another container. Simple, easy, to the point. Cool. Move on to the next one. Unfortunately, the yolk got everywhere, so I'm trying to scoop out yolk. So this is basically what we're left with. I tried. So, you got a little bit of the yolk in there. May change the macros by just maybe 10%. But for the most part, you're aiming for egg whites. If you already have egg whites, perfect. Just do it that way. So you're just trying to get the protein aspect of it. The mustard I did to liking. I don't need too much mustard. This is a honey mustard, the type of honey mustard that's 1 gram of carb per tablespoon. So you don't use that much, so you don't mess with your macros if you're watching your carb content. Again, now we're just mixing this all together. As you can see, it's looking a little watery, probably should be thicker, and that's when I was like, I'm missing something. There's no way my crab cake's gonna work out. So, hello, yogurt. So I've been adding fat-free yogurt in my diet. So this is Faye, it's 0%, meaning skim milk. It doesn't really bother my stomach as much compared to fattier milks or yogurts, cheeses, and stuff like that. So I'm just opening the container. And thank God I had this in my fridge. And I'm gonna measure out, I think I did about close to 50 grams of this, which is 1/3 of a serving. So you're probably gonna get 6 grams of protein with that. And then here's the rice cake. I know it sounds weird, but go with me. I said, I don't have breadcrumbs, so we're gonna use a rice cake. Put it in the plate there. I'm gonna smash it up. But in the meantime, putting my pot on medium heat. That's my olive oil that I'm gonna use. And we're just gonna, I'm not using avocado oil. I'm not a fan of avocado oil, but that is my rice cake right there that I just smashed. Is 1 rice cake. Those are the crab. I'm just showing you, we're gonna add all these ingredients and use that. About 1 or I should say 1/4 of a cup of the mixture. So I was gonna measure it like that with the crab and then put it in the mixture, and I was like, no, you might need to put it actually into the mixture and then throw it all in there, mix it up, keep the clumps. So I don't know why I was using that with my fork like that. I was trying to smush it in, but don't try to mess up the clumps, right? Like, this is some good crab. So taking about 1/4 of a cup of that mixture, now you're gonna form it into your hand, just like so. Roll it in there, form it into whatever shape you want. I try to aim for that. That's how much oil I put, enough to get maybe 1/3 to half of the rice cake covered. I'm not trying to deep fry it, but pan fry it. So this is basically what I have. Obviously, there's a lot more oil than necessary, but I also want to cover it. You can see it's getting golden brown the other side. Do this for about 4 minutes, and you can kind of see the brown, like, beautiful brown is coming through. We're gonna flip that over, and this is basically what we have, guys. This is really from the rice cake, okay? One rice cake, which is about 7 grams of carbs. That's it. There's nothing else. And I didn't want to use breadcrumbs, and I don't even have bread in my house. And so, like, this is like a great option if anyone who wants to do, you know, crab. Crab has a lot of great nutrients, has a high protein. It's already low in fat. You add the seasoning that you want. People who said, you know, you can use base seasoning, whatever. I like to use my own seasoning or whatever I'm feeling when I got going on. So 4 minutes on each side, or about the golden brown that you want to make sure everything is cooked as best you can. You don't want to overcook your seafood as well. I'm putting that on a paper towel just to, you know, drop any extra oil. And then here you go. Like, yo, like, bruh, it is so beautiful. And I'm just telling you, like, you get your protein, you're low in like fat, you're low in carbs. Like, what the hell else do you want? Like, and there's so much flavor. So, you know, bro, it wasn't much left, but I'm just telling you, yum, yum, yum. And if you made it this far, thank you for liking and subscribing, and I'll catch you on the next.